Hi sunflowers and bloomers, it's Martina here at Bloom Beyond, where we help you to create a life and business of freedom from perfectionism with the power of the subconscious mind. If you are new here, you're so welcome, and we basically, again, support you in overcoming perfectionism. And I wanted to touch upon today how faith is actually one of the key components to overcoming perfectionism and really learning to trust that everything is happening for you instead of to you, right? With perfectionism, when I was stuck in that kind of way of thinking, being, and acting, I did not have faith, right? I did not have faith at all. Firstly, I didn't believe in anything other than the fact that I could force everything into place, that it truly started and ended with me, that I had all these different things weighing on my shoulders that I had to deal with myself. And I didn't trust in the universe at all right? Didn't trust in the universe at all. I thought of myself as separate, like a separate entity from everything and everyone else, which also made me kind of hustle and grind day in and day out on my own. I very much isolated myself to move forward and make progress in life and business. And so it created disconnection. It created also just actually lack of, progression in many ways, because I basically didn't automate, didn't delegate, didn't do anything to get support and help at all. And so my lack of faith, right? My lack of faith that I am supported made it so that perfectionism became my coping mechanism. See? I was also afraid, subconsciously, of making mistakes, of kind of messing up, of not being in control, all of that kind of stuff. And that also added to me not having faith, right? Because when you have faith, it's very different. You then allow things to happen, things to not go the way that you necessarily wanted to or imagined, but you still know that it's guiding you in some direction whatsoever, and that it's all about the growth that you endure and who it is that you're becoming through that process, instead of focusing on the ways in which things are against you, right? It's a shift in where your attention is. So your attention is rather on, okay, what is happening for me here, instead of what is happening to me. It's such a big shift. And if you're wondering what the root cause might be of you not having faith, there could be several things, but oftentimes it's conditioning from when we were very young, where our performance and whatever we did got intertwined with our sense of self and our worth, right? And oftentimes too, you might have gotten a sense of importance or a sense of being worthy and deserving if you were on top of things, right? If you were on top of things, you had things under your control, this and that, then everything would be all right. If you, let's say, had siblings and you took care of them and helped them out and everything, right? You might have gotten some sort of significance out of that. And you then started putting importance on that you had to have things under your control. And that became perfectionism, right? And so if that's the case, right, then you oftentimes you don't see how faith can support you or help you out, because you think that, oh no, I gotta hustle and do things for myself, right? So there are many things that could have played into you kind of having or picking up this tendency of perfectionism and lack of faith. But faith is truly, truly key, because if you allow yourself to have faith in something beyond you, in the universe, that you are interconnected and not a separate entity here floating around space, right? If you see yourself as interconnected with everything and everyone else, and you have faith, you can allow yourself to play. You can allow yourself to be spontaneous. You can allow yourself to do things out of the ordinary. You can allow yourself to take risks. You can allow yourself to have fun. You can allow yourself to do something you haven't done before. You can allow yourself to try new things out. You can allow yourself to connect with others. You can allow yourself to create. You can allow yourself to so many things when you simply have faith. So again, when I look back on my journey to overcome perfectionism, and I look on the journey of all the sunflowers and bloomers that I have helped to overcome perfectionism and truly create a life and business of freedom from perfectionism, the power of the subconscious mind, when I look at that and look at them, as well as myself, I know that faith is such a fundamental part of it. Now, how do you then go about transitioning from kind of living, thinking that you are the separate entity that needs to do everything on your own, force things into place, to having faith and trusting that things is happening for you? How do you make that transition? It is a paradigm shift, and you know what it is? It really comes down to your ability to be less uncomfortable with uncertainty. When you allow yourself to sit in uncertainty and face uncertainty without the need to control, without the need to be attached to the outcome, without the need to be on top of things, that in and of itself allows for space for faith to develop, to grow, to be nourished. Faith is not something you do, all right? It's not something you do. Faith is something that is birthed through you, that is always there waiting for you to tap into that faith. See? Faith is not having faith per se, like in some entity. It is having faith in the interconnectedness of everything and everyone, and that is already there. That is not something you have to do, something you have to check off the list. Nothing like that. It's already there. And for you to then begin to develop this sense of faith, it's all about beginning to rip out the perfectionistic kind of tendencies, oftentimes of resistance. And resistance can manifest in different ways. It can manifest as procrastination, as attachment, as control, right? As so many different things, as being on top of things, right? It's all about beginning to rip that out of the subconscious and replacing it with faithful statements of truth, right? And affirmations, and basically a different language. Because if you are to gain faith and trust, right, it's all about the kind of language that you speak to yourself in your day-to-day living. And there are different kind of ways that you can speak to yourself differently, obviously. But what simply helps me, and what helps a lot of others too, is to basically just affirm everything is happening for me, never to me. Everything is happening for me, never to me. Everything is happening for me, never to me. And also, for instance, saying, everything works out. Everything works out. Everything works out. Also saying, I have faith. I am learning to have faith. I am learning to trust. Because when you just say that, that is not in conflict with what you already believe, right? You can say that you're learning to have faith. You can say that you're learning to trust. Right? So being able to affirm this over and over and over again in different situations in your day-to-day, as well as maybe journaling upon it, meditating upon it, as well as actually responding with these statements of truth in whatever way you prefer. Really respond from that place. That is how you begin to practice it. And you begin to rewire your subconscious. Because repetition, emotion, and conviction are the three components to rewire your subconscious for a different way of being. Now, we're talking about shifting from the perfectionistic way of being, of needing to always be in control and on top of things, to having faith that you're supported. I am supported, right? I am supported. I am supported. So allow all of this to sink into your subconscious now, and let me know in the comments down below how you are choosing to incorporate faith in your life and business, and what it is that you choose to affirm. Maybe write down a statement of truth that you can allow to sink into your subconscious and allow you to develop and grow your sense of faith and trust that everything is happening for you, not to you. Write that in the comments below. I'd love to hear. And also, you can apply to join the Bloom Beyond tribe to join other sunflowers and bloomers to create a life and business of freedom from perfectionism with the power of the subconscious mind. Go to bloombeyond.com/apply to do so, and I'll see you in another video. Stay bright, brave, and balanced.